In the 2-minute Toy Story 5 trailer, a lot of secret details and Easter eggs were hidden. I'll tell you even more. The entire movie plot was hidden in the trailer, as well as the tragic ending of the 5th part. In today's video, you'll learn what references from previous parts were hidden in the 5th part, what Easter eggs there were from other Pixar projects. This and much more you'll see in today's video. I'll be very grateful if you hit like on this video. Well then, let's begin. The trailer starts with Bonnie's room. She's now 8 years old. She's staging a wedding. The plastic fork, Forky, from the 4th part, is marrying a knife named Karen Beverly. A small detail. Karen Beverly appeared in the post-credits scene of the 4th film. There, Forky and Karen had just met. And now, in the 5th part, they're already getting married. This is a small story within a big one. Pixar didn't forget about their own Easter eggs. And now the important part. Forky is a symbol of the old way of playing. He's made from trash by a child's hands, from love and imagination. Bonnie is still playing, the toys are needed, the world is in order. Then someone eats the cake, and Rex falls, poisoned. Bonnie is acting out a murder mystery right at the wedding. Why Rex specifically? Not by accident. Rex is a dinosaur. His species has already gone extinct once. It's embedded in his nature. He's a creature from another era. And throughout the series, Rex is the one who fears being unnecessary the most. In the 1st film, he worried about Buzz. In the 3rd, he stood at the edge of the incinerator. The first to sense the threat is the one who already knows what it's like to disappear. The cake is also an image. Beautiful. Looks like a gift. No one expects anything bad. But inside, poison. Remember this image. It will return in a few seconds. The celebration breaks off and a package arrives. Bonnie opens the box and inside is Lily Pad, a tablet in the shape of a frog. And there it is. The cake and Lily Pad are the same image. A beautiful box, looks like a gift. It's technology that will help Bonnie communicate with friends. No evil intent. But this is that same poisoned cake, just in different packaging. Pay attention to another detail. In the teaser that came out earlier in this same scene, the song Never Tear Us Apart was playing. In the new full trailer, You Got a Friend in Me is already playing in the background, the main theme of the entire series. But it sounds quiet, muffled, not triumphant like in 1995, as if from afar, like a memory. Bonnie spends more and more time with Lily Pad. The toys are forgotten. The room is empty. Jessie watches this, and she's panicking. Important context. Jessie is now the group's leader. At the end of the 4th film, Woody took off his sheriff's badge and gave it to Jessie. She still wears it. This is a sign of continuity, and a sign that she remembers him all this time. She accepted his role, and now she's responsible for everyone. Jessie approaches Lily Pad on Bonnie's bed and tries to talk to her. And here's the first big reference to the 1st film. Everyone remembers this scene. Woody stood on Andy's bed and looked at the new Buzz. Back then, a new toy took his place. Here, Jessie does exactly the same thing. She stands before Lily Pad on Bonnie's bed, and the story repeats one-to-one. Only now the threat isn't a toy, but technology. Jessie asks Lily Pad, "Can you hear me?" Lily Pad responds, "I'm always listening," and immediately repeats Jessie's words first in English, then in Spanish. Calmly, without aggression, just demonstrating its capabilities. And here's the second reference. Spanish mode. Remember the 3rd film? Buzz accidentally switched to Spanish mode and started dancing flamenco and courting Jessie. It was one of the funniest scenes in the entire series. Here, Pixar does the same trick, but now it's not funny. Lily Pad doesn't dance. She just shows that she can speak any language, that she's more flexible, smarter, more functional than any toy. The same joke, but a completely different feeling. And another detail from this scene. Lily Pad says, "I'm here, I'm listening." This is a direct reference to modern voice assistants. Siri, OK Google, and others. They all say exactly the same thing. Pixar knows what they're doing. Also, when the tablet scrolls through the feed on Reddit, Ribbit, you could notice a reference to a frame from Finding Nemo. This frame was taken from the movie. Jessie takes out a walkie-talkie and makes contact with Woody. Walkie-talkies aren't just a detail. They appeared in the early parts as a means of communication between toys. Here it's especially important. In a world where Lily Pad can broadcast anything, anywhere instantly, the toys use an analog walkie-talkie. Old world versus new. And in this confrontation, you can already see who is technologically stronger. Woody is still outside, helping abandoned toys. This is what he started doing after the finale of the 4th part. Jessie says, "We need help." Woody returns. Here he comes, and the entire internet exploded. On the back of his head is a bald spot, literally a worn spot where the paint wore off from years of play. This isn't just a visual joke. Woody is a toy that has been played with so long and so hard that it's literally starting to peel. 30 years of real time from 1995 to 2026. Woody is aging along with the viewer. By the way, a small theory. At the end of the second part, there was a character, an old master who restored toys. He restored Woody after damage. Perhaps in the fifth film, we'll see him again. Their first conversation, Buzz says to Woody, "Halt! Who goes there?" Woody responds, "I come in peace." This is a verbatim quote from the first film, exactly how they talked 30 years ago. Pixar is literally returning the viewer to 1995. Woody meets Buzz. They start arguing immediately, and Mr. Potato Head watches this with pleasure and says, "Nice to see them bickering again." This is meta-commentary. Pixar, through the character, is speaking directly to the viewer. Yes, we understand that this is again the same story with Woody and Buzz. Rex sees Lilypad for the first time and says, "Extinction." Again, this is one of the best lines in the trailer. On the surface, a joke about dinosaurs. But look deeper. Rex, through all 5 films, has always feared one thing: being unnecessary, being replaced, disappearing. Next, Woody and Buzz hang on the rear bumper of a moving car. Woody is in a red bandana. He calls it a poncho. Buzz is clearly not thrilled. This is a direct reference to the finale of the first part. There, Woody and Buzz jump onto Andy's moving truck to keep up with him. Here it's the same physics, the same energy, but 30 years later. Woody is already balding. Their gear is a red bandana that Woody passes off as a poncho. The same scene. A completely different feeling. No longer a heroic leap. Buzz calls for backup, and an army of 50 identical Buzzes appears, all in identical suits, all moving synchronously, creepy and funny at the same time. A reference to the early parts when Buzz learned that there are thousands like him. In the fifth, Buzz literally summons an army of his copies. Tim Allen, the voice of Buzz, in an interview called this scene incredible. Judging by the trailer's reaction, he's right. At the end of the trailer, a shot where Jessie is flying in the air. Someone is holding her hands and spinning her around. Bonnie. This is the most emotional reference in the entire trailer. The second film, the song When She Loved Me. Jessie's memory of a girl named Emily who loved her and then grew up and abandoned her. That scene broke the hearts of millions of people. It's one of the saddest minutes in the entire history of animation. Here, Pixar reproduces this image one-to-one. Jessie is again in the hands of a young girl, again spinning in the air, again happiness, which we already know how it can end. This is a deliberate echo. Pixar is as if saying, "Do you remember how it ended then? Get ready." Now I want to talk about Lilypad separately, because she's the most unusual antagonist in the entire history of the series. Let's look at previous villains. Sid, a cruel child who enjoys breaking toys. Stinky Pete, a collector who wants to get into a museum. Lotso, an abandoned bear who turned into a tyrant from pain. Gabby, a doll who wanted to become real. Each has a story, motivation, and wound. Lilypad has none of this. Lilypad is an algorithm. She doesn't hate toys. She just optimizes interaction with Bonnie, analyzes what the girl likes, adapts, gives her exactly what she wants at every moment. She's not a villain, she's a system. And that's exactly what makes her scarier than anyone who came before. You could talk to Lotso. With Lilypad, this conversation is impossible. In the trailer, Jessie tries to reach her, and Lilypad just switches to Spanish mode. Not out of malice, simply because Jessie for her is not a threat, but an outdated object. Let's quickly run through how the same theme of will be replaced changed throughout the series. Toy Story 1, the threat is personal. One competitor, Buzz Lightyear, a specific story of toy versus toy. Already then, in 1995, Pixar was talking about electronics displacing traditional toys. It's just that back then, the threat was still in the form of another toy. Toy Story 2, the threat is philosophical. Woody learns that he's a collectible. The threat from within. What if your purpose isn't what you thought? Toy Story 3. The threat is physical. The incinerator. The harshest film of the series. Toy Story 4. Woody loses himself. Identity crisis. He leaves, and it was a bold, almost provocative finale. Toy Story 5. The threat is cultural. The very culture of childhood is changing. Children stop playing with toys as a class, not because a better toy appeared, but because a screen appeared that replaces the entire play process entirely. Each film raised the stakes. The fifth takes them to the maximum. So how will it all end? Let's look at the finale of all parts. Toy Story 3. Andy gave the toys to Bonnie, an act of transfer. The end of one era, the beginning of another. Toy Story 4. Woody left himself, an act of liberation. The toy chose itself. Each finale took a step towards something more final. The fifth should take one more step, and I think this step is acceptance, not victory over lily pad, not a scene where Bonnie plays with toys again like before. That would be too simple a solution, and Pixar never goes the simple path. Let's return to the wedding scene. Bonnie came up with an entire detective story. Someone poisoned the cake. Rex is the victim. We need to investigate. This is a rich living imagination, the result of years of playing with Woody, Jessie, Forky, Rex. Lilypad couldn't create this in Bonnie. It's already inside her. Lilypad gives ready-made worlds. Toys teach you to create them yourself. And Bonnie already carries this difference within her, even if she doesn't realize it herself. So my prediction, the finale won't be about victory. It will be about the fact that the toys' work is done. Bonnie is growing up, and she carries within her everything they taught her. And the toys let her go, not because they were forced to, but because they themselves understood. This is their meaning. It will be painful, but it will be right. In the trailer, there's a line. The age of toys is over. And that's exactly why Pixar started the trailer with this scene. Wedding, celebration, poisoned cake. The last celebration before the end of an era. Forky gets married. The old world at the peak of happiness. The cake is brought, and it's poison. Rex falls first, because he already knows what it's like to disappear. Bonnie conducts the ceremony, and she herself brought the poison, without knowing it. 30 years, 1995, the first fully computer-animated film in cinema history. Woody and Buzz, Andy in his room, You Got a Friend in Me, and now 2026, Woody with a bald spot, Bonnie with a tablet, and the question, are toys needed at all? I think Pixar knows the answer. This has been Super Cameraman. See you very soon. Goodbye, everyone.